Hello and welcome to Greetingstar. I'm so glad you could join me today. I have a really cute little snowman card for you today for Christmas, and I made it using these dies from Spellbinder, and it is the S3 360, and I cut it out of blank white cardstock. It's the Nina Solar White in 80 pound, and you can see here that this is just the cutest little die. You can cut him out of cardstock that's colored if you'd like, or you can do the white cardstock like I've done and color him in with some markers, and it shows you a cute example on the back there. Okay, so I'm using my Zig Memory System scroll and brush markers. Now I've had these for ages, and you can see here that the die also embosses, and it also debosses, so it kind of pushes in the paper and pushes up the paper in different sections so that you can get a really cute image. So I'm just using this pure green here to color in the holly leaves, and you can see that it did deboss the lines in the leaves in the center. It's hard to see with that green color over them, but I'm gonna highlight those later. Now you can see here that I'm going around the edges of this little die cut shape with my marker because I don't like any of those white edges to show. I think it just it gives you a better image if you try to cover up any of that white on the edges that are showing. Okay, so now I'm going to take this pure red, and this has a scroll end and it also has a brush end. I'm using the brush end to color in my images, but you can use the scroll end to write cool looking letters with. So that's kind of a really neat little system. I bought those a long time ago when I was really into scrapbooking. Okay, so I've colored these leaves and berries, and now I'm going to color in the nose for the snowman. So I was looking for an orange, but my oranges were dried up. I have had these for many years, and I'm going to choose Island Coral instead for the nose. But any orange that you have would certainly work, and you don't have to use these markers. These markers are really cool for scrapbooking because they're archival quality, they are waterproof and fade proof and so on and so forth, so they're really nice markers, but they certainly are an investment. They're not cheap. So but I know with card making you don't necessarily need archival quality, but since I had them, I'm using them. So now this is powder blue, and I'm just going to dot around the snowman's face to give him kind of an icy look. And after I add all these dots and they dry, I do go back in later off camera and just color in the area in a more solid fashion, but you can still see those dots through it, which gives it kind of a grainy texture, which hopefully looks a little bit more like snow. Okay, so now I'm going to just adhere the little pieces on his face using my Tombow Mono, which is a glue that I use a lot, this liquid adhesive. And I smudged it a little bit with black that was on my finger, so I decided to go ahead and draw those lines that you see in carrots, and I thought that worked quite well. And then I'm just going to put his little eyes on right here. I love that they're like a little moon shape because it looks like he has part of his eye that's glistening. I like that a lot. And now I'm going to do the hat. I'm using pure red here, and you can see that area there where the band goes around the hat has been debossed. And then I'm going to use my black marker to go ahead and color in the rest of it. Now this marker is drying out. Black is a color that's used probably more often than any color, especially if you're doing writing. But I'm going to go ahead and just get the best and most black ink out of this marker that I possibly can. I add a little bit of extra pressure to do that. And then I thought maybe I'd leave it a little bit lighter in the center to sort of mimic where the light hits it, and it looks a little bit more shiny that way. But I do decide to go ahead and pull out one of my other black markers. These are the Writers. It's the same ink color and ink quality and everything. They're still the Zigs, but this has got a bold tip and a fine tip. So I'm just going over that, still leaving that center there so that you can see that shine. Now I get out my Sakura Glaze pens because I want to go over that red area because it looks a little bit messy. So I'm just going to cover up the messy areas with this glossy ink, and that cleans up very nicely. Okay, so we're moving on. I'm going to use these Honeybee stamps for the Merry Christmas word. And then these two pieces of paper, this red and blue, I don't even know if they make this anymore. This is the Coordinations Chalk Core Cardstock. On the back of it, it's black, and then that's the Astro Brights Bright Confetti cardstock, and then the card base is just the Nina Solar White 110 pound. So I'm going to go ahead and get my snowman all ready to put together, and then I'll start adhering everything to my card base. I did cut out those red and blue circles with the scalloped oval dies from Spellbinders, and that's also a pretty old set that I've had for a long time. Okay, so I'm just using my scrapbook adhesives here to adhere this to my card base, and also to put down these scalloped ovals. And I think this is a really cute card. Anyone would love to get it, but especially if you have like a niece or a nephew, they would love this. Okay, so I'm going to use this precision press stamping tool because I want to stamp that Merry Christmas more than once. I'm going to be using some ink. It's the Memento Dewdrops in Summer Sky, and it's a very light blue color. So first I'm going to just make sure my cardstock is going to stay in place, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I do need to move that tape. I got it up a little too far and it would be in the way of that stamp. So now I'm just stamping several times. I think I stamp about 4 times because the first result looked a little bit grainy, so I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit more smooth looking. So I went ahead and did it about 4 times. But you can certainly do whatever you choose, and with whatever ink you choose as well. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to take it out now, and we're going to decorate around the card after I go ahead and adhere the snowman. Again, I'm going to use my Tombow Mono here because I think that it's a great ink and it just works well with things like this. Get his little face down and then his little hat. Now I do go ahead and add another piece of cardstock here behind the hat because there's layers on this card, and I don't want the hat to, you know, I want to make sure it's more secure. So by putting those layers, it'll match up with what's already on the card and there won't be any uneven parts. So that way it will definitely stay down. Okay, I think that looks really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the holly leaves here. Now once I get this all adhered and everything, I do come in with a green Sakura glaze pen to go over the centers of those leaves. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and put the scarf down. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the little, there's a little tiny snowflake and some little tiny stars, and I'm just going to place them on my block here and use that same Summer Sky ink and just stamp all around the page to give it a little more cheerfulness and just make it look a little bit more not so stark or blank. Now the cardstock that I'm using does have some little specks of lots of different colors in it. I don't know if you can see it on the video here. It's called Confetti White, and actually I love the Stardust better, but I couldn't find the Stardust cardstock, so I settled for this Confetti White. And you can tell that the base color of it is a little bit off-white. I don't know if you like that. You might want to go for something different. But the reason I chose it is because it has those different colored speckles, and it's really cool. Okay, so this is the Sakura glaze pen that I was talking about. It's in a dark green, and I'm just going over those lines, and it's going to give it a shiny, sort of like an embossed, a heat embossed look. So that's kind of neat. And I did that with both leaves. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my white gel pen. This is a Uniball Signo, and just put a little highlight on the berries there and also on the eyes. And then I thought it would be really cute to add some snow to his nose, so I did that as well. I thought that's really cute. Now later I do go in with I think it's a Jelly Roll silver gel pen, and I go ahead and add some more dots to the front of the card, and I also go over his nose and add some highlights to his eyes with the silver gel pen. You'll see that in a little bit. But right now I'm just doing, trying to get this gel pen to look like snow on the tip of his nose. I wasn't really happy with it, so that's why I decided to bring in that silver gel pen. And also the R's in this Merry Christmas I thought needed some something on them. So I'm going to go ahead and take this gel pen and add little dots to the R's, and then I decide to add dots to the centers of the snowflakes. And I thought, since I was at it, I might as well go ahead and add some more dots around the card. I kind of can't stop when I get started. I don't know if you're like that, but I just keep going and keep going. I just really enjoy playing around and having fun making cards. And I hope you do too. So anyway, that's it for the card for today. Pretty simple and easy, just a lot of different steps involved, but I think anyone can do this card. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more videos. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.